What is up, everybody? How's it going? Alex here, and today we're going to take a look at one of the most frustrating things that Airtable has not fixed over the past, I don't know how many years they've been around, and that is sorting linked records. As I was browsing through Airtable's forums one day, I bumped into a solution. Yeah, I'm gonna link that thread down in the description, but ultimately this is my tweaked version of the solution that's proposed in that thread. Go to that thread, give them a thumbs up, but in the meantime, let's take a look at how I personally implement that solution to sort linked records within a certain field. Let's take a look. So in our typical fashion, first, let's go and take a look at how this whole thing works. I have a project, I have some tasks that are related to it from this tasks table. I want to mark one of the tasks as done, and I want that task to go to the bottom of the pile. Of course, this takes a few seconds to kick in. There we go. Cool. That is what I mean by sorting records. So in our typical fashion, let's go ahead and at this point take a look at how the database is designed. There's not much to discuss, and yeah, finally we're going to take a look at how to set up the script. I'm not really a script guy, so this should be very copy-paste oriented of an action. So yeah, let's take a look. All right, so let's go ahead and check out how the database is set up. Nothing crazy this time around. We just have a projects table with just a simple text field, then a link to tasks, and I can link to multiple records, obviously. Then in tasks, this is where a little bit of complexity comes along, but it's nothing really to call home for. So we have the leftmost field, which is our label, and then we have just a simple concatenate with a switch expression. Status is the core here, and then based on the status, we just also add like a little emoji, and then and then just the name of the task. Simple as that. Next, we have name, and this is just a text field, task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The status, which is just a drop down to do, in progress, and done. Then we have a date. Then we have a date X, which is really interesting. So what I'm doing here is I'm converting this date into a Unix time format. So yeah, Unix is just a bit of a geekier way, more programmatic way of taking good old dates and transforming them into this other date time format, which is called Unix. But ultimately, the beauty behind Unix is that, or the Unix date format, is that it's basically a count of seconds. Since I think some date in 1970, I don't remember exactly which one it was. Ultimately, it gives you a date as a very long number, which is really good if you want to sort by ascending or descending dates. So then we have priority, basic, urgent, I think basic and urgent, right? Then we have a sorting field, which we're going to use in a sec, and I'm going to explain what it does. So essentially, the sorting field is there to provide us with like what I like to call an anchor. Using the sorting field, I can dictate the levels of sorting. So in this case, I first want to, if you take a look at it, I'm first sorting by status, then I put a dot, then I'm sorting by date, and then I'm sorting by priority. Of course, you can play around with this. You can put date at the top, so you can first sort by date, then you can sort by, I don't know, priority, and then by status. But this is one of the central, if not the most central fields the most important fields that you'll need for this little project of ours. And then obviously project, we have a backward link to the project which gets created by the system itself. So now let's go and take a look at the script that runs behind the scenes. So we begin with an automation, right? We have this little automation called sorted, and the trigger is that when a record gets updated, which record? A record in projects, which field? Tasks. So whenever a task gets updated in here, in other words, something changes about it, then this particular automation runs. Let's take a look at the script. Now, again, I did not come up with this script. I just edited a few minor things, a few minor tweaks that weren't explained in that thread properly. I'm not going to go through the whole intricacy of what this script does. I'm just going to link this down below. The main thing, like if you want to know roughly what's going on, I'll do a quick explanation now. But I'm not going to go into the whole like scripting thing. This is not a scripting video. I don't like scripting myself too much. But yeah, essentially in this first part, we're just setting up the script to kind of like understand which records are being triggered, what are the fields and such. Then we are here creating the like a dummy field, the sort value field, which is based on the sorting field that we just saw. Then we are arranging records based on that sort value. We're also kind of converting into a string. I mean, it's already a string to begin with, but we're kind of like lower casing everything. Then we are deleting that object, and then we're just updating the linked records. And that's all. Then we have one little thing, just because before I forget, we have this record ID thing that we need to put in here, and that should be the Airtable record ID from the previous step, this thing over here. So don't forget to link that. That's it. Finish. Close the automation. Get back into your data. And now what we need to do is we need to double check, and maybe I think I need to do an explanation as to how to manipulate this, because this is what I lacked from that thread. So essentially this sorting field works in such a way that it will sort your records in a particular way. You don't need to have multiple fields. This is one of the things that I struggle to understand. You only need one field to rule them all. So let's take a look at it piece by piece. I'm just going to delete this particular part. So we're just going to leave it like so, where we have it like that, right? So we have to do and done. So in other words, what I've done now is just basically let it give me a number for every different status that it sees. 1 for to do, 2 for in progress, and 3 for done. So this one is 3, this one is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And I've set it to go to sort them from lowest to highest. So from 1 to 3. In other words, if I take this task and set it to done, once this script runs, it will put it down there at the end. Perfect. Now let's take a look at this. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to be able to sort them by an extra value. Let's say the priority, okay? So right now, let's just move priority somewhere over here so that we can see it over there. So right now, urgent, we have urgent and then basic. Let's say every single time I want my urgent records to be at the bottom of the done list, right? So let's add an extra record. Well, actually, let's first mark something else as urgent. So let's mark this as urgent, and let's mark it as done. So that was, I think, task 1. Done. Let's see how it arranges it. Excellent. Let's take a look. So the urgents are at the top and the basic is at the bottom. Let's say I always want the basic done stuff to be at the top and then urgent to be on the bottom. Let's go ahead and do that. So back in our sorting field, I'm going to put a comma. I'm going to put a dot there, another comma. And then I'm just going to paste this little switch over here. There you go. Just another switch expression, right? Urgent A, basic B. Let's swap this around. B comes before A, and then basic will always be A. Excellent. Let's do this again. So I'm just going to put this as to do. Nothing's really going to happen now. I think it will probably, it will stay roughly the same. Yeah, there you go. So let's now take task 1 and mark it as done. And let's open it up. And there you go. Task 3, basic, is higher than the other stuff that is urgent. Let's take task 4, basic, mark it as done. And let's see what happened. Task 4 and task 3 are at the top, and then task 1 and 2 are at the bottom. So now let's play around with times, dates and times. Again, this is just another extra thing that we want to put in. Again, a comma, a dot, and then I'm just going to paste date X. There you go. So date X, it's this little number here, but ultimately it's the date, right? Yeah, we're going to be adding the date as an extra parameter to the sort, just like we've done with just like we've done with priority. Yeah, that's basically the same trick again. Save. Ooh, there is an issue. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, yeah. There we go. So it was just a comma that I had. In fact, I don't need that part at all. Cool. So save. Perfect. Now let's take this away. Let's take that part away, and so that we have the status, the priority, and the date come up in this little card view. Let's take a look at what's going on. So we have earliest. Oh, there you go. So let's say I want earliest to latest to be always the case. So here we have a latest to earliest, right? We have 26th of July, and then the record right next to it is the 16th. So we always want 16th higher than this one. Let's do it. So I'm just going to take 4, turn it into to do, and that should rearrange our records based on that premise. Let's open this up. Well, actually, it has rearranged it the other way around, I believe. No, actually, I'm right. It has arranged it from earliest to latest. So yeah, that's it. Let's take another record. Let's see, number 5, and mark it as done. And let's see if it has done, if it has followed the principle. Yes, it has. So 27th, then 31st, then 16th, because this is urgent, right? It's the urgent now, and then 26th. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this short explanation on how to sort linked records. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.